Hey guys, welcome back to Seller Sessions. Again, we bring back Paul Harvey to cover part 2 of Free Plus Shipping. How you doing, Paul?
Yeah, good, Danny. Yourself?
Yeah, all good. Okay, so let's get started. You've got something you want to quickly show us first, don't you?
So, since the last recording, a lot of questions were, can you give me examples of a Free Plus Shipping product? So, take a look here. This is just a pillow, but it's actually sequenced because the reason being, I have to be very strategic now because I don't want your YouTube account to be suspended. But I'll show you over here. So if we do that, and okay, I'm going. There we go. So I won't fill in the blank there, but if you look over here,
yeah,
that's how it works. So pretty much ask something, hate people.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about this is an impulsive buy. So this is something that's actually perfect for Facebook because people see this and I think it's a great conversation starter. And it's cool to have around the lounge as well. So this is actually an awesome Free Plus Shipping because all you really pay for is the pillowcase. And I think it's about $3-4 and we charge about $20 for it.
Cool.
Which is pretty cool.
Excellent. Okay, so just to carry on from the last session, should we talk about the failures from Amazon products using Free Plus Shipping, which is going to be important to cover, the mindset, etc. Give us a rundown on that.
So, for example, the Amazon stuff, first of all, we have to be aware that the Free Plus Shipping mindset and the Amazon mindset of the customers is completely different. On Facebook, the people go on Facebook, as you said last time, just to gossip and spy on their friends, everything. They don't go on Facebook to buy, but on Amazon they do. So if they do go to Facebook and they're going to make a purchase, it's going to be a reasonably cheap purchase. And that's why the Free Plus Shipping model works really well. And that's why, Free Plus Shipping, sometimes they pay upwards of $8-9 at the end of the day after shipping. And that works quite well. But with Amazon, they'll pay whatever they want to because they come there with that mindset to buy. So that's why you can't do Free Plus Shipping and make it a $30-40 item because it just won't work. People won't pay for $30-40 of seeing a Facebook ad unless it was really, really, really viral and they wanted it. So we have to address that, knowing that the Free Plus Shipping, the Facebook mindset of the customer is very different to Amazon. And that's why it's difficult to actually base our product selection on the Free Plus Shipping.
Excellent. And do they also, is a different kind of customer as well? Because some of them don't have Amazon accounts. Is that right?
Yeah. So, what I've done a lot of the time is that I've said to them Free Plus Shipping and they buy it. And then I have a follow-up email, which then says, so for example, in this case, it was a widget spinner. And a week later, I emailed them saying, would you like this other kid's toy, which was my brand on Amazon? And a lot of them replied, no. And when I said, why? They said, because they don't have an Amazon account. One customer, in fact, asked me if I could reset their password on Amazon so they could use it. Some of them just don't care for Amazon, which just shows that as big as Amazon is, a lot of people don't use it.
Yeah, no, it's incredible that someone go to that length, and also obviously that leaves them wide open for hacking and everything else, of course. What about Instagram? How does that affect Free Plus Shipping?
So about 3-4 weeks ago, I was talking to a person. He has, I think, 5.2 million followers on Instagram. And all he did was that he simply put out a link to his Free Plus Shipping funnel, and he made about 15K in 4 days. What's crazy is that because Free Plus Shipping is such a highly competitive market, far more than Amazon, he said after those 4 days, he counted about 20 copycats that copied his funnel, copied his product ideally. And he said it was a nice cash injection, but it's not really long term. So if you have Instagram, it's great, but it's going to be difficult to keep that traffic going for long periods of time. A little burst is great.
Yeah. So is there any way to do like re-engagement campaigns? Because obviously influencer kind of campaigns have become a bit trendy recently. But if you compare them to, for instance, like Google ads or Facebook ads, although the Facebook ads can flame out over a period of time. But the influencer traffic is an interesting one because if you want short bursts. But have you ever found a way to engage, like do re-engagement campaigns so that you can use the same influencer over and over again instead of keep finding new ones?
I have tried in the sense that in the normal free plus shipping funnel, it's the product on the front page and then the upsells after that. So what I normally try to do is that if I see some upsells are working really well, then I'll do a whole brand new free plus shipping using those upsells only. So I would take out something out and add something in there, and that normally can work really well. And because it's a new funnel or an almost new product they haven't seen before, then that works really well to re-engage them. But again, 3-4 days, you're back to square one. So bursts are best.
Okay, cool. And what about the life cycle on these products? What would you say? How do you measure that?
So the issue here we have is that what will kill you so much is your Facebook ad cost, because in the beginning, when you first have a successful free plus shipping product, I know one person, I think he made 1.3 million revenue in 6 months, which was pretty cool. But he says, is that his ad spend on Facebook was far higher towards the later few months than the first few months. It's because so many copycats come on board and so on and so forth. So bear in mind, he runs his own Facebook ads agency, so he knows the ways around everything. So for the average person that's not the most skilled person on Facebook, I would say, honestly, you have about vary from product to product, but I would say about a month to 2 before you have to move on and evolve.
Yeah.
And that's quite difficult because in Amazon, it might take 2-3 months to launch a product, whereas with free plus shipping, 2-3 months and the product's already squashed and you have to carry on going.
Yeah, so let's develop more here about obviously it's a lower barrier to entry, of course, because you're not carrying the products. Literally, it's mainly marketing, isn't it? What you're trying to, product selection and marketing. Where do you see this going in terms of the copycats? How can you protect yourself on that cycle for a bit longer? Or is it inevitable someone's going to come in?
It's pretty inevitable, and to a point being is that if you carry on going and being successful, copycats will take you out, and they will be taking down your page as well, complaining about you to Facebook, everything. One person I know, he had a Shopify store, and he was making, I think, about 6 figures a month just on Shopify. So not free plus shipping, but Shopify, and doing everything through Facebook ads, and he had his Facebook ad account shut down, and that's almost equivalent to losing your Amazon account, because how are you going to advertise to these people? So it is inevitable. The thing is that it's you need to understand that in your backup all your ad sets using Power Editor, everything. Those things are a pain, but they can be done. But if you do that and you keep your pixel, you're gold, because then you can just relaunch and rehash new products in new stores all the time.
Gotcha. Okay. And what about the after sales follow-up? Walk me through this. Sorry, go on.
Sure. So the issue we have with the after-sales follow-up is that people don't read the terms and conditions. They don't read my disclaimer saying this could take between 10 and 40 days to ship to you. And bear in mind, as you're shipping from China, that 10 to 40 days is an estimate. Sometimes it arrives in 5 days, sometimes 35 days. It varies all the time. So immediately after the customer makes a purchase, they get the email, and I make bold letters saying, my apologies, because this is a best-selling product, we're running out of stock, so your stock will arrive within the next 5 to 40 days. Please follow up with me if you haven't received it within 10 days, and I'll see what the issue is. And if you pay extra on AliExpress, you can get tracking codes, and then you can send to the customer and they can check it out. The issue we have as well is that normally these purchases are below $10. And if they're below $10, then people don't really care for it, because they buy it and forget and move on. These are the impulsive buyers that have a goldfish memory. So a lot of the time they don't move on. And I can tell you now, in my experience and others I've spoken to, they only get about 10%, about 5% cancellations based on the shipping fee.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely fine as long as you nail the customer and tell them, listen, it's going to be 10 to 40 days shipping time, and they're fine with that. They really are. As long as you come across as being as helpful as possible, it's fine.
Yeah. So basically, if you had a decent email sequence follow up, like little reminders, even to preempt it, just say, don't forget, we did mention X, it will take this period of time. Then that obviously keeps getting it back to the customer in terms of,
correct,
this is what we were trying to achieve in the beginning. We notified you it's going to take 5 to 40 days. However, we're just letting you know that, it could arrive any day now. So obviously keep an eye out for it.
correct. And also after that, with the email sequence is that if the customer really loves the product, then what you do next is you tell them, great, would you like to see more of our products on Shopify or Amazon? You can do either or. Amazon, I'm a bit hesitant to, so I wouldn't recommend it too much because sometimes those customers don't have Amazon accounts, but it's worthwhile testing. It really is. So I either send them to Amazon or the Shopify store, and that's quite cool because if you send them to the Shopify store, you're still grooming your pixel, which is very, very valuable. Whereas Amazon, you can't really track the pixel too much. And I know that a lot of people I speak to, their after email sequence equates to about 20% of their sales.
Right, gotcha. And what about using free plus shipping to actually research new products on Amazon? There's a way of doing this, isn't there?
Absolutely. So it's one thing I wanted to just catch up on. I missed over in the previous point was that the reason we need the email sequence is because when people don't get their stuff, they will complain immediately. And as we use Stripe as the payment portal, a few complaints to Stripe and you could lose your Stripe account, very similarly to the Amazon accounts. And that's why it's important sometimes to have 3-4 Stripe accounts in your funnel. So if one gets banned or delisted or blocked, you can just put a new one in there. And that can happen quite a bit of time because Stripe does not like the drop shipping model because it's too high risk. So if they find out what you're doing and people complain too much, they will put your account on hold.
Okay, so how to mitigate that kind of problem? Because are they a bit like Amazon? They'll shoot you in the face first and ask questions later.
The same.
Yeah,
exactly the same. And yeah.
So how would you go about setting up multiple Stripe accounts to protect yourself in that manner?
So the first issue we have there is that pretty much for every Stripe account, you will need a whole new business entity. And that is a headache. It really is. So what I do have a few other companies that are almost dormant, and I just siphon stuff through there if the account is blocked. And there's no real way around that. You do get quite a few payment gateways, such as PayPal, Stripe, even JVZoo sometimes. Mm-hmm. So that all can be used. Just basically having a good list of them. So you can just put them back in the funnel, and it's very much a worst case scenario. So much like Amazon, worst case scenario, will the company shut down? It's always good to have a backup.
Yeah. So what we're saying here today, guys, is not that this happens on a daily basis, and you've got to have 6 businesses on the bounce. It's just like Amazon, you could get suspended for some reason or another, and then you have to fight your case with it. So to avoid that, it's always handy to have a backup, is what you're saying. Yeah. Cool. All right. What about using Free Plus to research the new products on Amazon, for instance?
So, for example, what I would do is the Free Plus shipping is actually pretty awesome because it's lead gen. It helps us generate customers and so on and so forth. For example, let's say we're selling, we're in the baby niche on Amazon. A very low ticket product to sell in the baby niche are those teething necklaces. I mean, you can get those on AliExpress for, I think, $1 or $2. Granted, let's ignore the whole health hazards there about shipping from China and baby stuff. Let's ignore it for now. Just use an example. But if we use like a teeth necklace, we'd pay about $1-2, get it from AliExpress. We'd create a free plus shipping product, so a free plus shipping funnel, and run that completely. And then the follow-up sequence would be I send them to my Amazon storefront or my Shopify store, or sometimes I even send them to a survey saying, hey, please take the survey and let me know what you think. And that survey will be what new products would help you with your baby, what new products will help you with this tea necklace, so on and so forth. And I do that for market research, and that works really well. And that helps the product research because that's by gathering all those emails, and if you groom that audience right, you can use that audience to launch all your products in that baby niche.
Right, gotcha. Cool. And what about any other hacks do you want to cover here?
So the whole basis of this is the funnel. It really is. If we understand how to use a funnel, we can do free plus shipping. We can go to Amazon. We can go to Shopify. We can do quite a few things. So if you understand how the funnel works, you can do some really cool things on Amazon. I mean, for example, I've tested this many times, is that when you send traffic to Amazon through the funnel, it works ridiculously well because that traffic is high converting. And if you send high converting traffic to your listing, you just leapfrog up the rankings. You really do. And I mean, about 2 weeks back, I launched a product. I only had 100 units, so I don't really care for it. And so I launched it and I sold 4 units through my funnel. And I had a few things happening in the back end there that really add some juice to the funnel, but those 4 sales got me to page one, number 2, and within 3 weeks I sold out of those 100 units.
Cool.
So I can work really, really well. And all I did there was, first of all, the product went through the storefront URL. Mm-hmm. So if we use a baby teething necklace as an example, I would use the storefront URL and have baby teething necklace in there, so that way they click on there. And also, in the funnel, I have screenshots, because always must assume customers are idiots. Always have to assume that, because they make some mistakes. So you have screenshots, or even sometimes a GIF walking them through. Is it GIF or GIF? I can never pronounce it. But it's a little video walking them through all the steps to get it. And that works really, really well, because that traffic goes to Amazon and converts. And yes, it will be discounted sales, but it still works because they're going through those avenues of the storefront URL, everything. Yeah. And then to take it one step further, what you could do is, what I love to do, people think it's black hat. It's not in the slightest. What I do is I create a funnel. So let's say I sell a supplement. I sell Garcinia Cambogia. And I sell Garcinia Cambogia, and let's say you're my competitor and you sell HTP5, one of those other weight loss supplements. So what I can do is that I know these 2 products sell really, really well together and they complement one another. Yeah. But I want to piggyback off you because you're page 1, number 1, and I'm page 20. So all I'll do now is I'll create a funnel saying, if you buy this HTP5 supplement, you will get a free bottle of Garcinia Cambogia. Mm-hmm. And in the funnel, I'll walk them through the steps, and all what's really happening is I'm actually just giving them a coupon code to make mine free, but yours I can't touch at all. Yeah. So I have a link there in the funnel that adds both those products to the cart. So they click that link that adds both of them to the cart, and they are none the wiser. They could essentially then actually take off the HTP5 product and still purchase yours for free. Yeah. That happens. It's one of the issues. But if you do this all the time, you will then appear as frequently bought together in that competitor's listing. And it's completely allowed, and competitors don't like it because you're taking up space, retail space on their listing, but it's absolutely allowed. And I do this because I now appear as frequently bought together in their listing, and even if I'm page 20 and they page 1, I'm going to get a lot of sales, people just adding to cart and buying. And that can help you because that can be a really, really lazy launch and just passive sales from that.
Yeah, sounds great. So do you want to just walk us, so that we can back up for the audience, do you just want to go through the steps? So if they were to sit there with their pen and pad, for instance, right now, what would they need to do to put that protocol together?
Okay, so first of all, find the product that is the best complements to yours. And then make sure they're on page 1, the top 3 spaces. That's all you're going to do first of all. That's step 1. Now, step 2, create a coupon code making yours free. That's it. Step 3, after that, will be to create the funnel. Now, the funnel is a bit of the tricky part. You need to create a funnel that really spells out, buy this, get this free. You must make sure you hammer that issue across. And in the funnel, have screenshots showing that through, walking you through that. And then the 4th step is that you will need that link. And that link is key. It's a link that adds both to cart. What I will do is, if you want, in the YouTube comments, I'll post that link there, so then everyone can just butcher it and use it for their own leisure. Yes. And that's all. And then the step 5 would be to run the Facebook ad. And the Facebook ad would be, buy this, get this free, and it's completely allowed. And people will say to me, "But Paul, you're messing with your competitor." I'm giving them sales.
Yeah.
So they really can't complain. A lot of the times, I do it to products sold by Amazon.
Right.
And you would only need sometimes, depending on the product itself, you might only need 10 sales frequently to appear as frequently bought together, or you might need 20. But the more you do, the more you're stuck there. Yeah. So if you do 50, you're pretty much going to stay there for a very, very long time.
Fantastic. Well, that's great. It's been action-packed, this session. How can people reach you?
So the best thing to do is reach out to me on my website, Epsilon E-commerce. Or alternatively, I do have a Facebook group where I specialize in doing funnels for Amazon and e-com products. And that group is called Builderall for Amazon sellers. Builderall is the software we use. Builderall for Amazon sellers. And I know my accent never gets that word across properly, Builderall, but I'm trying on that.
No problem. So do you want to quickly explain what Builderall is and compare it to some other products in the market?
So the main three products, or actually main two products in the market for funnels, and it's all just a funnel program. The main one is ClickFunnels. There's also Thrive and Lead Pages. Those are the three main ones. Thrive is WordPress. I'm not a fan of WordPress. I know you are, but I'm not a fan of WordPress. I just don't like it. So, but it works really well. The Lead Pages works also really well, but Lead Pages is too clunky. ClickFunnels is great. It really is. But the problem with ClickFunnels is that we need to address it, that ClickFunnels is very much like a Mac, whereas Builderall is like a PC. So on a Mac, you're pretty much stuck with the interface. You can't move too much. And it works really well. It does. It's great. But with PC, you get a lot more flexibility, a lot more things you can do. And that's the same with Builderall. You're creating a funnel, but you can do a whole lot more things. You're not restricted by ClickFunnels and their rules and stipulations. And also, with ClickFunnels, if you want the full package, it's $300 a month. Builderall right now is $30 a month. So it's a huge saving. And also, but I must state that Builderall right now are still in beta, but I don't mind because I'm getting in now at the $30 rate, and I'm staying in rates for lifetime. So it's still a bit glitchy, but I mean, over the past few weeks, they've made mountains of improvements. And also, I spoke to the owner, the CEO of Builderall, and I've been working with him a lot lately, and they are releasing a one-time use coupon code in the funnel. So no longer do you have to use the global coupon code in the funnel. You can just use a one-time use coupon code, which saves on so much time and stress on stuff going viral and losing your stock.
Makes sense. Well, look, Paul, thank you again for coming in. I hope we'll get you back on the show in the next few months. Guys, again, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe and click the bell below, and we'll see you next week. See you later.